What is the roles of a radio plugger? Because a lot of people don't know the actual role that a radio plugger plays. Is it the manager or is it the label? Who actually solicits the radio pluggers to do a job for them?
I've been in this business over 25 years and I'm still not sure what the effect of a radio plugger is. Not necessarily what the role of a radio plugger. I think we all know the radio plugger's job is to take the record and get it onto radio. But I'm never sure what the real effect is. So if you go back to basics and make a great song, or make a great record from a great song, you know, the chances are you will get it on radio. And if I look at songs like Rewind, I bet you look good on the dance floor. Dream on Dreamer, songs that I've been involved with over the past, that are not necessarily radio songs. The fact is, has the plugger convinced them to put those on radio? I doubt it very much. I believe that there's been support in radio for that record. They've put it on radio, and a good plugger is a person, for me, that will put it in front of radio's face and keep on doing that. But ultimately, I think they're somewhere between messengers and fans trying to get stuff on radio for their clients. And yeah, of course they want to get everything on radio, you know, yes, but they can't love everything they take. It's a job. Just by virtue of the fact they're getting paid to do it by the client means they have to go in and say it's great. So if I was a radio executive, you know, it's down to relationships. Do I believe that he loves every record? Of course not. But I know he's getting paid to sell that record in, so his job is to get it on radio. You know, I'm not convinced that if I was a radio plugger, the difference would be between a bad song and a radio plugger in getting it on. But with a good song or a borderline song, a radio plugger can probably do some good things that help the record along its way.
And you know, like we were speaking up before about the music being kind of predictable nowadays. If it's quite predictable, then what keeps you passionate about being involved in an industry that is somewhat predictable 12 months in advance?
I'm passionate about music. I started my life as a musician. I love music. So, to be honest with you, my three passions in this order are great song, great deal, great sex. That's 1, 2 and 3. And that's never going to change. Whatever I'm doing. Great song makes my day. Great deals make me happy. Great sex. Well, they actually rounds off 1 and 2 anyway. So it's really simple. That's what drives me every day. I love the buzz of looking at new talent, listening to new talent. I love the buzz of working with new artists that are enthusiastic and understand the job at hand, because it's not all about the music. You know, unfortunately, it's probably not even 50% in the beginning. But I love working with enthusiastic artists and ones that want to succeed and driven artists. And I'll continue to do this job for as long as I have driven, focused artists that want to be managed in a professional way.
And just rounding lastly, you've kind of like alluded to the points now, but what do you see as, is there any artists out there currently who you see as being the next big thing for 2011, and what do you feel actually makes a star in terms of music?
A star is someone that has an aura about them. You know, it's very difficult to actually put it into words, but you know when you meet somebody, they have the potential to be a star, or they're slightly different, or, you know, to be a star is not necessarily about being on television. That makes you famous. Today the problem, the culture that we have, is you do the red carpet and then you become a star. You know, where we come from, you have to work at your artistry and then become a star. You know, so during that period, you either have it or you don't, but every star, inverted commas, that I've ever worked with has had the drive and the passion and the talent to get their music across to the masses. And that's probably what makes a star, and a long-term star. That's very, very important to understand that they also are driven and in control creatively of what they want. They know, most stars know what they want. When people come through the door and they're not sure and they're relying on management or record companies to give them a persona, what should I say, what should I do, etc., etc. 9 out of 10 times you pick that up as being, the industry picks it up as being pretty manufactured and see you later, goodbye. So those are things that are essential, and that's the common factor with every star I've worked with, that they have. And I think in answer to your question of who's going to be successful, I think Nicki Minaj is going to be a big star in this country this year. I think as a female, she's definitely one to look out for. I think from a male point of view, Drake is going to have a wonderful year, great year in this country. I think we're also looking at a new culture that will be created this year, that will be guitar driven, and I think we're going to see that towards the latter part of the year. We're going to see some excitement of acts, thankfully, that I'm not talking about, that some I have a vested interest in, and more I don't. But there are some very exciting new guitar bands out there that are bringing something new, and I think we'll find the second half of this year we'll start bringing some new styles and new flavours to our radio and TVs.